I'm going to get this going. All right, we're recording. Hopefully you guys have some coffee. Still doing iced coffee, even though it's 42 degrees outside. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. So, but anyways, we're going to start off. We're going to kick off the call here in a few minutes. But before we do that, open up the chat. Where are you guys tuning in from? Where are you at, like maybe city and state? And also where you're at in your house. I see most of you guys like at an office. You guys have a lot of pretty backgrounds, by the way. But before we hop in here, I wanted to share some wins. You guys, this is a new year. I'm excited for the possibilities ahead. I love New Year's because you get to look back at all the breakthroughs and the things that happen. And what's really good is we're usually pretty good at looking at what we need to improve on, but we're always great at looking back at what we've wanted, what we've grown in, and what we've accomplished. So I just want to open up for some stories at the beginning, just if anyone wants to share some wins from this last season, any breakthroughs they've had, breakthroughs other people are having. You come off mute and go ahead and share it. We'll do probably 2 or 3. Who wants to go first?
Brad, I will.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, Amber.
Good morning. I think my biggest win, and we talk about this all the time, is just making the decision, right? Like, I've been coaching for quite a few years. Things have went really well. Got a little comfortable, but comfort doesn't bring much joy. And so for me, the big win was just getting clarity in my decision of what I want to create next. I'm super excited about that. And I've just really dug in with Susan and Shane and you as well to solidify that clarity and where I'm working, getting my structure set, schedule, and just really ready to create some big stuff here in 2019.
Oh, I love it, Amber. I love me some Amber on fire. Life is just better when Amber's on fire. So I love you sharing, and I love that, making the decision. So I love that. Who else wants to share a win this morning?
Hey, I'd like to jump in. Even just kind of taking off from what Amber said about making that decision. My client support got a little wonky. I'm not sure if anybody else experienced that over the later end of the year, November, December. I kind of lost track of some clients a little bit. So I made a decision to up my game in that. I went through, I did a report. I texted everybody and started a lot of great conversations. And I'm really in a really good place with my client support now. The energy is fantastic. They're being more interactive in our support pages and stuff like that. So it's been really fun, and they're really just kind of getting reinvigorated and excited about their journey again, where it just kind of started kind of flatline a little bit, and now we're having some fun again.
I love that, Tim. That actually leads us into one of the things for today is that, one, I love that because you've been coaching for, 6 years now? Has it been 6 years?
About 6.5, yeah.
I think it's cool that, one, we have long-term results in our health, but long-term results in loving what we do. And that, we're going to show you that today, how to turn that on, because people can feel our energy. And when we decide to turn it on, make the decision, we can always raise that frequency. Tim, thank you so much. Let's do one. Oh, go ahead, Tim.
I got to tell you, just on that frequency thing, I'm having way more fun as well, and there's way more excitement coming from me that's just feeding off of what's happening with these other clients. So just love that.
I'm sure everyone here is like, I want more of that. I know we all have it here, but I want more of that. What did you do to just up the frequency on that? Because I know you made the decision one day, just the next day you just had that much more energy. What'd you do?
Well, you know what? I started having more conversations. I literally was texting and setting up times to talk to my clients. And so that interaction with them, it just got them more excited, got me more excited. And it's just kind of, like I said, spilling over. They're doing better on their journeys. They're being more active in our client support page, and it's just more fun. And I'm loving it. I'm actually having a blast right now doing that.
Heck yeah, Tim. I love it. That's a great way to start out here. Let's do one more. Who wants to share a win? I know you guys got them. I talked to you guys all week. So who wants to share next? One last one. Who is that?
I'll go.
Yeah, go for it, Kelly.
Oh, I love this. So I don't know if you were looking for somebody else, but the other side of the Giardino, I will say that Tim's frequency is raising the whole thing for us. But for me, I dove back in with our coaches and really, and Brad, and helping to really get reinvigorated and go and senior coach again myself. It really is so fun. It's simple. If you just, and you get that fire as you're helping other teams. to grow. And it's been so fun to dive back in and remember my why, or readjust it as to why I chose to do this, and just get fired up on helping more people, because that's where the joy comes. Like Amber said, like, Tim, we just get such joy from seeing other people win, and that goes into the coaching line as well as the clients, coaching business side. So I just have enjoyed this week. I've been on a lot of Zooms, and I was welcoming all of them because people are wanting to grow. They want to know what's next and how to just get a little better. We lean into Brad and David and Terry for that, and it's rippling down, and it's been a great week that way. So that, I can tell you, leaning in. I've had a few people go, I get what that means now. So if you're not sure what that means, ask, because that was a big aha for a few people this week in a couple of places, including me. So there you go.
I love that, Kelly. All right, because we're going to show people how to do that today. So let's officially kick it off. It's 7:04. If you weren't on earlier, drop it in the chat where you are tuning in from, where you are city and state, but maybe also where you are in the house. Some people are not on video. Maybe you're in the bathtub. Maybe you're still in bed. It's all good. It's Saturday morning. Like, let's just say this good does not smell of vision on here. I haven't showered yet today after my workout. So it's good. If you're new here, this is the way the Saturdays rule. We get up early, we get after it, and we learn all the basics that make a transformational business. My name's Brad Miller. I'm a Integrated Presidential Director, and we are glad you are here. Before I introduce my co-host today, I want you guys to take your phones real quick. Normally, before we do something where we want to be focused, we're like, okay, turn it off. And what I want you to do is I want you to connect. I want you to send a text to someone that needs to be on this train, that needs to be with us. This is a community that doesn't leave anyone behind. So if you have one person that's on your heart that needs to be here with us, send them that text. And step number 2, because this is also a step of success. Take that text messages, send one to your coach and say, hey, I'm here this morning. I'm ready to grow. Go ahead and send that text real quick. I'm going to send one to my parents are my coaches, by the way, so they're going to get a text from me this morning. Ready to go. All right. Perfect. All right. Ready to rock. All right. I want to introduce my co-host today, Presidential Director Susan and Shane LaBelle. You guys here?
What's up, party people?
We're here. We're here.
Good morning. Thanks for blowing up my phone right before we get going. Good to see y'all. I love it. Yeah, we're excited. Let's see who's here today. We're tuned in from Portland, so sunny old Portland over here. We're so excited. If this is your first boot camp with us, we want to hear from you. Go ahead and drop in the chat, like, first timer, I'm new here, and I'm excited. So we want to hear, is this your first boot camp? First time. I see some first time people jumping in. We are so excited because there's a lot of people wanting to grow with us over this next season. And then we know some of you guys are always showing up to learn and grow and get better, become more, big goals this year. If this is your, second, third, fourth, fifth, go ahead and drop. How many boot camps have you participated in, and how have those impacted your business, your growth? We want to hear from you too.
How can you get this to stand up?
Hold on a second. I got your back, Barbara. Hang with us at the beginning here. We got a few people to get muted, so hang with us during the technical times. Go ahead, Sarah.
Yeah, it's all good. We'd like to welcome you guys. Congratulations for being here.
Hold it.
We're so glad you're here. And a few housekeeping things. Have a notepad with you while you're on this. Dream big while you're here with us. And use the chat. As Susan kind of started off, use the chat. If you have questions, ahas, takeaway, jump in and share those things with us. So awesome. I guess with that, yeah, let's dream big and let's get into this season. We're so excited. This is our ninth season going into a new year, and it's incredible, you guys. So awesome.
All right. Love it, Susan and Shane. Thank you. I love seeing all the first timers in the chat. Welcome. I'm so excited for you. We're going to go over basically, this is going to be a little bit of a different call. We're going to kind of get into it because the number one thing that's going to make the difference for you this season, I love seeing the chat. I love seeing the Shane. I love that you talked about the dreaming part because that's really what we're going to do. And I'm loving seeing here what we're like 212 people strong on here right now, is we're going to make the commitment together to grow during this season. And I love, personally, the new year. Like Susan and Shane were just saying, because anytime anything is possible, and that's what we're doing. We're giving people an avenue to create change in their life. Sorry, my messenger's blowing up. A lot of people want to get healthy this year. Can you guys hear that dinging? Okay, I'll need to find a way to turn that off when I'm not speaking. But wherever you're at, I want you guys to just dream about what's possible and where you want to go, because there's always times to like dream big, but I love the new year especially because like wherever you're at, I forgot I asked everyone to like say that they were on the training, so that's just everyone being on the training. I love that. So I wanted to share some stories as we get in here, because what we have in this community, the stories are one of our most powerful things. It's the fuel for us to have belief and to like have the power to give belief to other people. So this particular Go ED Bootcamp is about growing to the rank of executive director. So if you're not executive director yet, that's going to be your next focus. If you are already executive director, we're going to focus on growing to Big Thinkers Club. And I'm going to go over what that is here in a second and really set the tone for these next 6 weeks. But I want to just share some stories. So I asked a couple people that were newer coaches this year to share, because they plugged in, they did the work, and they created more than just an abundant ED business. They went big thinkers and beyond. So I want to bring on Steve and Lisa Nasco, because actually the reason why I chose them is I remember Lisa being on the second training after she was on her health journey, and she was having all these wins, and I could tell she had that spark that was going to just do something. And they didn't really believe it at the time, but they've gotten a lot of people healthy this year. So I just want to have them come on and share a little bit of their story. So Lisa, Steve, can you come on and just kick us off for this season, kind of share a little bit of what this last year looked like for you?
Oh, you bet. Hi, everybody. From San Diego, by the way, in case anybody doesn't know, Steve and Lisa. But we were brand new last year this time, brand spanking new. And for myself, I just wanted to share with some people that what I was feeling or what was happening with me brand new back then is I was feeling overwhelmed, because in a new business, I thought I had to learn everything and do a bunch of research. And for me personally, it was nice to plug into mentorship and have them tell me to slow down, relax. They're going to model, they're going to show us and teach us as we need to go. And it took a lot of pressure off not understanding how to run this business. And for me, that was great. We just stepped back. We were on just about every one of these trainings. I think I only missed one. I don't think Lisa missed any. And so that's where we got our teaching from. And I just want to say, if anybody's overwhelmed or anything, just slow down, take a breath, because they got you. That's what this is all about. And lean into your mentorship. Now take it over. My wife will take over. She's great.
Hey, I remember coming on a year ago and being on this same call and just wondering, could that happen to me? And it does happen to you. You know, when you see the 5 dots in the first, starting of that ladder going up, and I go, God, how can I get my next dot? How can I do this? And it just happens. And if you listen to your coach, you go on to these trainings, it happens. All of a sudden, you're in the next box and the next one. And I thought, in a year from now, I can never be at all these dots. Can I call them dots? But you do. It grows. And it's simply by listening to Brad, Denise. Well, for us, it was Denise and Danae. I did exactly what they said. And it just took off. And all I wanted to do was help people. And by helping people, this has created such a beautiful, beautiful journey for my husband and I, just by simply helping people get their health.
And I have to say, interject, I think it saved our marriage. We don't get real personal, but this business was so much more than just losing some weight. Mm-hmm. We as a family have come together, got a lot of mental clarity, and that's a whole nother subject, but this was way beyond a little business, which is now a nice big business.
It's life transforming in all ways. Always.
I love that, you guys. There's that really just sets the tone for what we're doing here. I won't get into the details either, but I lost 30 pounds. But you know what? My transformation changes in my family, in my personal growth, and I could go on for days, and that's the gift that we're giving people. So thank you so much for sharing and just the example and all the people's lives you changed over this last year, and ready to do more this year. We're going to do one more story as we start off here. It was another person. So actually, we're doing 2 Lisas this morning. So Lisa Yeakley, are you there? You got to unmute yourself.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, girl. All right, I remember you last year because you were kind of a coach for a little bit, and then you kind of found your way, and you went executive director, and then you followed the steps. I'm not even taking away anything of your story, but you started this last year as just a health coach, and then you got the ball going, and you just helped so many lives transform, Share a little bit of that success as we kick off the season. What was it like starting this year as a new coach? And then what are the things that you did? Because you went integrated national director in the course of this year. Share with us some of those wins. How did you do that?
Well, thank you, Brad. First of all, you know, I didn't grow up thinking I was going to be a health coach by any stretch of the imagination. I had always been overweight, so the word health coach, when my coach said I should be one, was super scary because I thought I had to know everything right now. Like, I will say it has made me more successful in my own health journey. That is 100% true. But also, I just did this to help my mom. My mom had type 2 diabetes, and when I knew I could help her, that was huge. So then, you know, I coached her, and then, well, you know, I just really wasn't sold on the whole health coaching thing. I'm a hairdresser by trade, so I really love being around people, and I saw this as something that when I did their hair, they felt pretty on the outside, but a lot of people are really struggling on the inside, and I was definitely one of those. One thing that this business has taught me is that taking care of yourself isn't selfish. And that was something I really am still struggling to learn, that I am important to take care of. So when I was told this, then I decided in January, yep, everybody's going to want to get healthy, and this works. So I wanted to tell the world. I wanted to stand on a mountain because I have a big mouth and tell everybody. Guess what? That's not what we do in Optavia. You have to like back up and be like, I have a secret. That's what everybody wanted to know, what the secret was. Well, we all know it's not a secret, but the way we go about it, you have to intrigue and they have to want it. Because you can't walk up to an unhealthy person and be like, hey, I could give you the gift of health. They have to want it. And that's one thing I have learned more than anything is you can't want it for your people. They have to want it. So then, you know, I leaned into my mentorship, like whatever that meant, right? I owned my own business. I was the boss. And leaning in, I have learned a lot. The first thing I wanted to do was pay for my food. Okay, fine, done. Then I wanted to pay our mortgage. Okay, fine, done. Like the more I leaned in and helped people get healthy, I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. So then I said, I want to make $5,000. Oh my God, it like just happened. It was so insane. And I know if you're not motivated by money, that's fine. And we weren't in a position that we couldn't pay our bills or, you know, we were living an okay life in my world. But my dream was to make $10,000. And I laughed at my mentors who told me that, well, do this, do that. I am like so close, you guys. Like I can't even explain it. But the biggest thing that helped me more than anything is this piece of paper. I learned in my other career that what you see, you can manage, and what you can't see manages you. That is so 100% the truth. So when your mentors ask you or tell you or invite you or whatever you want to say, and all these numbers up here, they're doable. Whatever you put here, you can do. Like sometimes it's faster than you can even believe. But what I really want you to know is I was told in January that I could be ED last year at this time. You guys, I didn't even know what ED was. You know, I was like, oh, well, okay, well, what do I have to do? So I just went and I did health assessment. And on January 31st at some bewitching hour before East Coast midnight, I became ED. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I'm not going to lie. I had people come out of the woodwork. It was so fun. But then I was told, hey, you can go to Go Global. And I was like, what's that? But, oh my gosh, it's in Florida. I'm going. I don't know what it is. So I went. You guys, it will change your life. I'm not going to cry. But I didn't know what I wanted. I know what I wished. And these people showed me so much more. So you guys make the decision, get your health on board, and know that you have an amazing gift that will help so many people. Thank you.
All right,
I wasn't going to cry.
You did amazing, Lisa. Thank you so much. I think that sets the tone exactly forward because I know there's a lot of people dreaming about what's possible. They don't know what's next. I love that you said I didn't even know what executive director is. and you were dreaming big. You hit every mode there. And I know I see Ryan there too, and it's just been so fun to
I know,
watch.
he's being shy.
He's letting you shine this morning, but it's just been so fun to watch you guys grow and then give that gift to other people. So thank you so much for sharing, because we could share more stories, but I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's if I see someone do something, I feel like then there's a possibility. If I see 2 or 3 people do something, I know there's a possibility. So that's during this next 6 weeks, we're going to share a lot of stories like this and show you exactly what to do. So thank you, Steve and Lisa. Thank you, Steve and Ryan. Awesome stuff. Let's kick off the season and let's help create some of those same stories for other people. So actually, I need to click on this real quick. I'm going to make you real quick, Steve and Lisa. All right. Let's get going here today. So again, we'll talk about, it's going to be a little bit of a different call. This is going to be what sets the tone for the 6 weeks. Like Shane said, I hope you have your notepad, because right now we're going to get the layout going for these next 6 weeks. Yeah, Shane's got his notepad there. We're going to show you, I don't know about you guys, but I love to know like what the layout of something is. And for all of you new coaches, I want to welcome you and just invite you to be consistent. Here's what the success is going to look like, the flight path for success is going to look like over these next 6 weeks. We're going to have 6 weeks, Saturday morning trainings. And we're going to do it January 19th through February 23rd. We'll also do a bonus one on March 2nd to help you kick off the month of March, one of the best months of the year. And we will, by week, show you all the basics to help you do what Steve and Lisa did, what Steve and Ryan did, what everyone else who was on here who is a big thinker has done to create a growing business. The cool thing about it is the steps are the same. Everyone does the exact same thing, but you get to put your own flair, which I love, because everyone here needs you to be you, to link arms to help your next person in creating health. But what we need is, what we all do is we all follow the same steps. So you too can do this, follow the steps, and we're going to show you exactly week by week how to do that. We also are going to throw in a little bit of a mix on this that we haven't ever done before. It's because it's so much fun doing it together. We're going to help you guys get even more hands-on this time. So we're going to have some actual hands-on work time after each call, so you guys can put into practice and get into momentum, take action on the things that we're talking about. And we're also going to do power hours if you want to join us during the week on that. We're going to do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 10 a.m. PST. And it's basically where we hop on and we do the action steps of changing lives. I don't know about you guys, but I do better when I'm doing it with people. Also, we're going to open up what the people that do this the best, all the big thinkers do, because everyone does the exact same thing, like I said. So everyone that trains on these trainings is a theory. They all run over 10,000 and above and way above in frontline volume, which means they're really good at what they do in changing lives. So everyone that you hear, you know that they do the steps of success, and you can do it too. So that's what everyone there, we are opening up our minds, our knowledge to help you guys do the exact same thing. We're also going to have tips, posts, action steps posted in the support page, and we'll have one document that references everything that we talk about. So if you're like, what is it they talk about? Where is that document? We will have one main document piece in there where you can look on that. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the chat because there's like some of those people talking there. It's awesome. We're also going to go, like I said, step by step to cover everything to help you grow like a pro, and all the things that create a growing coaching business to help people thrive in their life. So the last thing we do is I'm going to invite you guys to be consistent during the season, because we're going to show you a bunch of stuff, but I will tell you right now, 90% of the equation actually starts right here today, and just making a decision. Join us live each week. Make the decision to be consistent, because it's your consistency that proves to you that this is worth doing, that you can break through, and the consistency that other people are like, they're still doing that. There's something there. Like, that's the biggest change. So 90% of it is just making a decision. So I know we grabbed our phones already. I want you guys to grab your phones again real quick, because I'm kind of going over an example here. Text your coach and say, I'm going to be consistent over this season. That's my biggest invitation to you in the season is, if you make the decision and you're consistent, you will grow during the season. You can grow fast. You can go slow. There's no wrong way. This is a safe place for all of us to grow together. There's no comparison here. But if you stay the course, stay consistent, you'll have breakthrough, and we're excited for you to be here. Last thing on here is there's 2 main focuses, maybe a third on this training, is if you're not, we're going to be aiming the training for senior coaches and above. And if you're not an executive director yet, that's your goal during these 6 weeks, is to go executive director, and we're going to show you how. A lot of you guys are already executive directors as you start senior. Congratulations. We're going to show you how to basically continue doing what you're doing and move to Big Thinkers Club and above over these next 6 weeks. So those are the 2 focuses of this training. So if you're whatever category you're in, that's your next step. And I love it. All the people are saying that they're in. That's a lot of people thinking right now. The last one, for all of you, the 80 plus and above, already big thinkers and above, I want you guys to pay attention and learn this, because now that we've got it, we got to give this gift to other people. So you're learning it to relearn it for yourself. It's always the basics, but we're going to show other people to do the same. So we invite you to be consistent with us over the season, learn the steps, get really good at teaching it, because people think success is just this straight line. And guys, guess what? It is actually a big squiggly line. But if you pay attention, do the steps, stay consistent with us, and make the commitment to yourself, it actually only looks like a few squiggly lines. Susan, Shane, anything we should cover before we actually officially hop into today?
No, but you guys, you're hearing the stories. This is possible. We are going to show you the path today. And yeah, show up to learn, show up to teach others how to do this well. And I love the path to success. Yes, can be squiggly, but with our systems and structure, you guys, it can be a little less, bumpy of a road if you just dig in, show up, stay consistent, work with your mentorship team. So let's do it.
I love all the messages coming in. My phone's blowing up. All right, you guys.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks.
Perfect. Yes. All right. All right. Let's hop into today. So hopefully you guys got your notepad. And again, we're just going to take our time to kind of get incubated in this situation right here. Because if we know where to go, if we made a decision to be consistent, if we know the path, then everything's set. So actually, I love that Lisa and Steve shared this, because this is the dots that they were talking about. The consistent action leads to breakthrough. And a great business is built one person at a time. There's not one massive thing that Susan and Shay did to grow an integrated or to grow a presidential business. They just did the steps one step at a time. Lisa and Ryan, they just did the steps. So December, there's connections that we're doing. We're going to show you how to do this over the next few weeks. January is the time to be focused on people. You add a little bit more people that you were talking to before decide to get started. People that were trying to do the gym thing at the start of the year decide to hit you up at the very end of January. Just adding to that and integrating them. February, it builds on success. And then I actually put March in here, you guys, because I want you guys today, wherever you're at, to be thinking about March. March is actually where the wave crashes. It's if you do these steps, if you get really good at transforming lives, if you're consistent and people know about you and if they know change is possible, March is actually the biggest month. What's really great about Alphavia is pretty much every month is there's no highs and lows, but I would say March is definitely one if you are consistent. There's always people to get healthy. And what we noticed is if you're really consistent over this next season, you're going to see March be your biggest month. Every time we do a training like this, it's always our biggest months during the process, but it's the month after where your consistency pays off, but especially in March, because you picture all the people in the new year that are looking to get started. They'll hit you up. Some people will try something else. Some people will want to do something, but they're not quite ready yet. Then February, they start trickling in. Maybe they start talking to a friend. A friend tries to do what they do. Or anyways, you can kind of see that in March, the people that you are working with are paying it forward to other people, and they're connecting the dots. The people that you've been dripping on decide to get started. The people that tried something else, it's like a wave that happens in March, April, and it casts forward on that. So that's what we're going to show you guys today. But the main thing is how to be consistent during the season. So we're going to show you guys the path to executive director, and actually just the path of growing an abundant business. Drop me one in the chat if you guys want to know, what does it just look like to create an executive director business or a thriving, big thinking business. Can I do that? Okay, we're going to peel it back and show you guys a little behind the scenes, because our goal during the season is to literally, we're an open book. You can ask any questions. We're going to reveal behind the scenes. Not that there's anything to hide, but we want to show you so that there's no way that you don't know how to do the path, because if you follow it, you will be successful. So why strive for executive director? I'm going to turn it over to Susan and Shane, and they're going to cover this part real quick.
All right, I love it. It's so important to know where you're going, because you'll end up somewhere. If you don't know where the path though, and you don't know where you're going, you're not going to end up where you want to be. So that's really our desire over this next season. And to say it again, is make the commitment that you're going to stay consistent. And if this is a goal of yours, I'm gonna throw it back at Brad here and text your support team right now and say, I'm doing this. I want to be executive director. It feels good to just say it out loud, proclaim it. We're going to show you the path of how that looks. But if that is something you want over this next season, why not? Even in the chat, let us know. Is this something that you really, really want? Because what it means is that you have the desire to assist people back to health, okay? And that you're going to go all in, start those conversations, and help people. And so executive director, you'll see as Brad kind of shows the structure of it, a lot of people are going to get healthy along the way. It also You want to?
Yeah, absolutely. I love this because it really shows your desire to improve your skills, your competencies, as a health coach, and really to help others break through. Brad mentioned, come here to study it, to practice and teach, be present. This is huge, you guys. So realizing, looking at what skill sets you need, and then what skill sets you're passing on to your coaches, your clients, everyone. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's never, I would just kind of add to that. Executive director is maybe the next step for you, but we want to show you beyond that. It's very rarely a resting point for anyone, really. It's just part of the path to, as you'll see, like leadership, growth, income, people getting healthy, skill sets, all of the things. And so, like if that's your next step, bring out your phones. I know we usually say put them away, but today as Brad shows the structure, when you see your next step, like that's the structure I'm creating. I encourage you to like take a snapshot of that. Make that your, screensaver on your phone. Like have it be something that you're focusing on daily, knowing what you want to create over this next season. So with that, Brad, we'll have you, we'll pass it back to you.
Perfect. So the steps of executive director, and I saw all the people here that are new coaches, and that's your next step, is you're going to hear something called points. And we're going to break that down today. And what's cool about that is there's only two things we do in this business. We acquire and support clients, and we acquire and support coaches that are ready to pay this gift forward. And so they've kind of broken that down in the idea of points. So to go pro, executive director is everything Susan and Shane said. But the other thing it's a tip of the hat for you being a pro coach. You coach better at that time. You're maximizing the compensation plan. You've got the momentum fire of your business. And so you can go there whichever which way, but it's 5 points to executive director. So, there's senior coach, 1 qualifying point, manager is 2, associate director 3, director is 4, executive director is 5 qualifying points. So right there is what we're focusing on during the season if you're below executive director. We're going to be going through the ranks, but basically just kind of take a snapshot mentally, because as you progress fast through this, you're going to probably be like, wait, what's my next rank? Most people, it's like, wait, what's rank am I at right now? Because we're going to focus on the steps of helping people. So just know that there's a progression of skill sets. And as you go up in rank, you go up in compensation. And one thing you don't need to be bored with today, but they have built up the structure of how we advance through ranks in this business to totally basically mirror the transformational skills of coaching. So that's why they always have the next step ahead. So let's go over what a qualifying point is. Qualifying point, again, back to either we support people on their health journey, it's every 1,200 in frontline volume. So it's about every 4 clients or so. And we get another point, a qualifying point for a senior coach on our team. So having someone come on and helping them be successful, not just sponsoring a coach, but getting hands-on with them and getting them a great start in their business. So just think about it like this, like which one do I want to utilize? I'm going to grow my business and just focus on growing. If you can remember this, not only knowing what your next goal is, but even for the rest of your business, if you can grow 1 to 3 points a month, which is very doable, you can have a huge ripple business. And what's cool about this is you get really good at what is the tipping point of growing people and paying this gift forward. More doesn't mean more time. It actually means more freedom, and it means more people breaking through. So again, we're setting the tone hopefully for you to be like, wow, I can do this. And every time you take the next step, it's not more time, it's more people impacted. So let's talk about building this up to executive director. You can do it a combination of any which way. Here, hold on, I don't know why my PowerPoint's kind of going crazy here. So think about it. You have 5 spots to fill. And I don't know why my senior coach one's missing. That was supposed to be a senior coach in there. So you could do it, or no, that's actually supposed to be volume. I don't know why it didn't do this. It's not doing it on my, Susan, is it messed up on the main screen?
I just see 4 points. I don't see, but.
That's so funny. So on my screen, it's regular on my previous screen. So anyways, all right, guys, follow me verbally on this since the screen is not showing it correctly. You can do it all by frontline volume, and a lot of people come in with coaching, like Lisa. You did this, Lisa Yeakley and Ryan. You got started so quickly that you were focusing on people's health. You went ED first by just clients, so it was all volume. You went 6,000 frontline volume. That's great. There's no wrong way to do it. You can do it by volume, which is about 12 to 15 clients, and your first coach, because generally there's probably coach. If you're really good at transformational coaching, I'm just going to get this out of here, so I want to set the tone really good after we start this. You don't get coaches. you're so transformational and you're so invested in the people that you see the match for changing their life. That's what bringing on coaches really means. So usually if you're focusing on this well and you're following the steps, you'll see that there's probably a coach in every 5 clients. There's a need for community, for breakthrough, for support, for accountability, there's income, whatever the case may be. But so as you're moving to executive director, it could be a combination of clients and your first senior coach. I would say that this is probably the most popular way that people go their first time. You can do it by volume, which is about 10 to 12 clients, and 2 senior coaches. There's no wrong way. We're all going the right direction. But if you're working towards executive director, that's the layout. So you can go the 5 and 0, you can go the 4 and 1, or you can go into 3 and 2. There's no wrong way to do it. Just make your plan and figure out which way you're going to executive director this month. That's all well and good. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. You guys actually drop me a 2 in the chat if it's helpful to see that. Like, did that give you a little bit of clarity on what that actually looks like to go to your next step? Great, okay. That's all well and good. And some of you guys are already, like, you're like way past executive director. You're like, okay, Brad, cool, what's next? Or at least you know exactly how to help your team. But I want to show you guys, okay, if you're going to create a business, like so many people here that you'll hear training over these next 6 weeks, like Susan and Shane, like Lisa and Ryan, like Lisa and Steve that have just shared so far, and so many people that are on this call, it's more about the steps. And I want to show you guys, because when we started training this and teaching our team, this is when massive breakthrough happened for our business. So this is the slide that Susan was talking about. As we go through this, wherever your next step is, take a photo of it and then utilize that to know where you're going next. So the first step, I don't know why my slides are out of order like this, but anyways, we'll figure it out. The first step, if you're a brand new coach, is to go senior coach by the end of this month. Because a lot of the training is going to be basically for people that are senior coaches and above. Your first goal with getting coaching is get your hands on, get your first health assessments, bring on your first 5 clients. That's what senior coaches bring on your first 5 clients. But I want to show you a really solid start step is set that goal for 5 to 8 clients. There are people, it's January right now. If you just sneeze, people are looking for help. They're trying to. Man, I went to a dinner for gathering last night at my church and people were doing this crazy juice diet. I need to be living more boldly at my church because these people are doing like juicing. I'm not going to go there right now. But the point is we got to live boldly because people are out there looking for it. But the main thing is not just 5 clients, your first 5 to 8. So if you are a new coach, that's your goal. And if you're helping your first new coach, that's where to go. Because just at 5 clients, you'll make $450 in your first month. But at 5 to 8, you actually start hitting that momentum effect. You get a 5% bonus for going senior coach. You make another 2% for going manager. So if you're at 8 clients, you actually make $800 in your first month. And you get a CAB bonus for bringing on your first 5 clients. So that's what we help people with getting started, or that's your first step if you're not yet senior coach. The next step is, this is the in between. If you're not yet executive director and you're a new senior coach, this is where you're going next. Because a lot of people think, well, what do I do in between going executive director? This is your next goal. This is your next stair step, and this is a huge win. Going associate director or director. So it's about 10 to 12 clients. Maybe you have your first 1 to 2 coaches coming on because you're getting really good at transformational coaching. And it's a great time to probably get certified because that qualifies you for bonus and adds 3% compensation. But basically, you have about 3 to 4 points. And the income level here is about $1,000 to $1,300 a month. Like, notice how it jumps up just for helping a few more people. Like, a lot of people don't realize the next momentum factor is just a few more people changing their health. Some of you guys will blow right past that and go right to executive director. But if you are associate director right now, this is your next step. Blended path executive director. We talked about the 5 points, but I really encourage you who are not executive director yet, think 5 or 6. 6,000 frontline volume yourself. You can do it. And bring on your first 1 to 2 coaches and go in senior coach. So by the end of this month, if you're not executive director, yes, focus on executive director, but abundant executive director. The income level just getting started with a baby executive director business is $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And I'm really excited to say, with the stuff that we show you and how to keep it simple and easy, it's about 10 hours a week probably of pocket time. And we're going to show you how to do that. Like, I don't know about you, but I was working a 60-hour-a-week job. It was supposed to be 40, but I worked 60. I got paid for 40. And I just found the pockets of time. Actually, being busy was a blessing as I got started. It doesn't take a lot of time to be in communication and in relationship with people. So that's your next step. Okay. For all of you executive directors that are starting out the year, congratulations, by the way. This right here is your next step. And this is why it's so important. Oops, I want to go back here. Because this is not a rank in the back office. But I will tell you, this should be a rank, because this is where your business catches fire. That's why there's a boom on the screen. So if you're an executive director or a newer executive director, or this is your next step, this is the game changer. It's 8 to 9 points. Getting up there in like 8,000 frontline volume. Great, you've done 6, but we want to think abundant. It's where your clients actually become like, you don't even have to think about them as orders. You're just changing lives left and right. People are like seeing the people you're helping, and then like it's just starting to connect the dots everywhere around you. You have your first coaches coming out and following the same layout you're doing. They're just following the funnel of you. This is also a big income drive, because you're still executive director probably at this point. But the difference is you've almost probably doubled your income. And so what I find is most people just don't know that this is their next step as an executive director. So if this is your next step in your business, if you've been recently an executive director, take a picture of this. This is what a fill in your funnel business looks like. And I want to put an exclamation point on it, because if you cross over the executive director line, this is the game changer. Actually, I want to take a pause real quick. Susan, you have helped a lot of people find this nugget, and this is where businesses really catch fire. You want to say anything to this real quick, because it's so important.
Yeah, I think what I see it representing too is development of all the skill sets to grow whatever you want to grow in this business. So this is the precursor to all those leadership ranks that you showed onto integrated, regional, national, global. If that's in your, what this represents is there's really only 4 skill sets that we teach you, and it's the acquisition and support of clients and the acquisition and support of coaches. And so as you're reaching this point where you're, supporting clients really well and they're integrating, and you're seeing your coaches moving forward and being able to support clients, it's a sign of really working towards, mastery, or, becoming a master of your craft in all the skill sets in Optavia. So it's really exciting, because from here you can build whatever you want.
Love it. So here's the last couple steps here. And if this is, by the way, I know a lot of you guys are new. If this is like, wow, this is a lot, you'll actually start to understand it, and this will pay off for you as you take action. So even if you're brand new and you're like, okay, I don't really know what this means, trust me, it'll start clicking for you later, and you're gonna be glad that it kind of was put in the back of your brain. So the next thing is moving to Big Thinkers Club. That's why if you're already executive director, that's your next step. That's what leads you into a funnel full of people changing their health. It's where you pour gasoline on the fire in your business. It's where the income makes a huge jump. And it's basically your gateway into mass duplication of people changing their lives. So 10,000 in frontline volume. It's just a goal. If you're not there yet, that's the next goal to strive for, especially because as you get really good at this stuff. I remember when I hit 10,000, it actually felt like less work when I was at 6,000 in the very beginning. And that's why we're going to show you how to keep it simple over this next little bit. And the other reason is because this is your launching pad into the main leadership ranks, which is FIBC, integrated, national, and global. I don't want to spend much time on it, because I just want you to know that every step you take, just like your health, leads to where you're going long term. It's not like you're just getting there. If you keep doing it and you do it well, you'll keep transforming. The ripple effect will just keep transforming other lives, and that's what leads to big breakthroughs. So you want to just get a wide funnel and a big gift of duplicating this gift of health, mind, and body, or health, body, mind, and finances of changing lives. So I was going to go over this, but I was going to just make one point on this real quick, because a lot of people are probably sitting here like Lisa Yeakley was talking about, or Steve and Lisa was talking about. I don't know if I can do this. Like, I can't do this. I don't know if I know my next step. I just want to show you just like businesses that look like this. So other businesses that have gone, that weren't health coach this time last year. Oh my gosh, that's a huge jump if you look at the bottom. They just started by being consistent on this call, $180 in helping their first few clients. But those first few clients led them to the success and the consistency of everything else. By the end of this year, this person's example right here, they were integrated regional directors. And they're a Big Thinkers Club, and they're changing a lot of lives. How do they do that? There's no massive change. I want to show you, this is just their month by month. They just started filling their funnel. And then they didn't stop at 6,000. They got up over 10,000. So I just wanted to basically show you that there's no secret to success. It's just consistency. I'm not going to go through all the slides here, because basically that's the point of this. Here's another example of someone that started the year as executive director and with integrated national in the course of 9 months. All they did was they just followed the steps. And I can show you lots of examples of this. Basically, if there's anything that my goal was today with you guys, and some of you guys are probably like, Brad, this stuff doesn't speak to me. I'm a brand new coach. You know what? We want to get really good at proficient at, one, believing that it's possible, and being able to speak to all people. So that's what my only hope is for you today, is that we could show you things all day long of how this is possible and examples, because people are breaking through all around us. And so all you got to do in this season is make the decision, like Lisa was talking about, and you will keep growing during this next little bit. So take a snapshot if you didn't already. If not, we'll post the slides after the training of what your next step is. You might not even know how to get there, but if you know where you want to go, the road will take you there by being consistent. And I also want to encourage you, just like we've been encouraging you, because communication with support team is the key. Text it over to your support team and be like, this is my goal. Because just like you guys have your clients, you want to hear your clients' goals because you're going to fight for that. Your support team wants to know your goals so they can fight for your goals and your dreams. So with that being said, we're going to show you. So we're going to kind of switch gears. Okay, hopefully now you guys see the path. Hopefully you're like, wow, okay, I can do this too. Or maybe you're still not sold that you have it there, but we can believe for you even if you don't believe yet. Right now, Susan's going to help set us up into, okay, what does it look like to feel really organized, and what does a growing executive director business have? So as we get into the details over the next 6 weeks, we're going to take it step by step. We're not going to jump around. We're going to show you step by step the systems of creating massive change in clients. What do we need to get started with? What does that look like? So Susan, take it away. What is a cornerstone? What does every growing business have as a cornerstone?
Okay, I love this. I'm so passionate about showing people what it looks like, holding the bar of, you desire a growing business, just take a gut check on these, is where am I at and where can I improve? It's not a matter of knowing these things, it's a matter, are you doing them and living them out? That's really my encouragement, is really ask yourself today. So first, are you so on fire and excited about your health journey? You know, and it's not because you can't build a business from that space. It's really because you probably won't build a business from that space if you're not. You know, you just feel out of alignment and incongruent. And so I encourage you to make a decision to move forward in your health today, and, you know, connecting back with you guys, you still have a health coach, and make that decision to move forward, because you will fall back in love with our program. I can tell you that, and you're just going to want to scream it from the mountaintops. And so just getting that vision for what's possible and helping others. So that is a key cornerstone in setting up a really strong foundation for a growing business. The next have to do with really owning your schedule, like hiring yourself, being your own business owner really means, you know, learning to have your schedule be your boss. And so making that decision to have a schedule, and Lori's going to speak to that a little bit, but what goes into your schedule is your client check-in days, you know, a backup day in case that day doesn't quite follow through, but really like making those rocks in your schedules, your follow-up day as a rock in your schedule, time for daily text and sharing on social media. So making that a rock in your schedule every day, the trainings to be a rock in your schedule. And so we'll show you over this next season how to really plug those in so that you can honor that commitment to grow the business that you desire over this next season. Because having a schedule and actually having it be your boss is a key of having a really solid growing foundation. And maybe that's just somewhere you want to work and get better at. But just kind of, again, mental note, where do I want to grow and become more in this next season? Next would be having a goal. Thank you, Brad, for showing the path. You don't need to know all the end game. You need to know your next step so that you can set a really clear goal, have it on your map. Lisa showed her map. She said, this is gold right here, because she has her next goal set out. And so those that have goals move forward, and they know their path and they know their next steps. And how you create that is, and I'm sure it's on this list, you work with your support team. Because having a support team that's paved that path before you can give you and help you with those next steps, hold you accountable. I love all the messages coming in. You know, you got some accountability happening right now to like what you're saying is your goal and your next steps. So again, here's the bar. If you desire to grow over this next season, get on fire with your health, own your schedule, you know, set a goal and work with your support team. And last but not least, make this a rock in your schedule. What I like to do is not put it on repeat and put the Zoom number like right into the note on that. So it's not like every Saturday morning you're fumbling around, what Zoom am I in? It's just create habits that create simplicity, that create structure, that allow for like easy, like entry. It's like you can set, you can be there and it's right there and it gives you a reminder, because if this is a desire of yours, you'll do that right now. You'll actually, during our work time today, set this 8 a.m. is like a rock, and these power hours as a rock in your schedule over this next season. So we desire for all of you that want to grow to know what it takes. And we're going to hold that space for you to like go all in on all of these. And then those of you that are growing beyond that, it's our responsibility as business coaches to teach our teams these things if they desire to grow. So lead from the front on that. And I'm actually from here going to bring Lori on, because Lori has she used to do organization. I jokingly was like, oh man, if you live closer, I'd have you come to my house. That's never been, it's a skill set I've learned because I desired to grow. It did not come naturally to me. And so Lori has a background in being able to assist people. She's going to show us a little bit more about what it looks like to own your schedule over this next season. So tune in. She's got some awesome stuff for you guys.
Thank you, Susan. Definitely, it's a skill set I had to learn as well. I was not born with this. So I want to start with this, you guys. If it's important to you, you're going to find a way. And if it's not, you're going to find an excuse. And I think this applies to us from our health journey, going into coaching, fitting this into our life. Brad, if you can go to the next slide. Awesome. Thank you. So, it's all going to begin with scheduling. So I always like to say this too. If you don't find value in doing it and fitting this into your schedule, it's not going to happen. So just like our health journey, again, you're going to find the same story. You start with your why. Why is it important to you? So we always say slow down to go fast. So slow down and let's take a little glimpse into finding time to put this into your schedule. So we're going to do a little stop, challenge, choose for your schedule. Take a second, take a look at what's going on in your life, right? And then you're going to challenge yourself. Am I fitting in those rocks? Am I making time for what's important to help move my business forward? And then you get to challenge yourself. Is this moving me closer to my goals or away from my goals? And so it's cool that we can incorporate the stop, challenge, choose into this as well. Ask yourself what your level of commitment is as well, because are you truly more committed to being overwhelmed? I think that's one of the biggest things that stops people from moving forward is what I find. People decide to become coaches, and we all have this heart to serve. We want to make a difference in this world, but we don't necessarily know how to fit it into our life. We're running on overwhelm. And when we're running on overwhelm, we're not going to move forward in our business. So putting our focus into creating your best life. And, my gosh, this whole call has been filled with so many gold nuggets. And I just want you guys to pause for a second, honestly, and think about how blessed we all are to have a mentorship team that invests so much and pours so much into you to teach you. There are no secrets in building a business. It all begins with just honestly opening your mind to listening to your mentors and linking arms with them and just taking that very next step each and every day. Brad, if you could go on to the next slide. Thanks. Okay, so when we're first getting started as coaches, we're trying to manage through a messy season. And if you just expect it to be a little bit messy, you're not going to be surprised by it. So just knowing that when you're walking into it, you're adding something already into an already busy life. So you're adding one more thing into your life. So just knowing and having a great attitude walking into it, thinking about, well, what do I want more of? Do I want to get out of a job? Do I want to create more income? Whatever that is for you, knowing that, there's going to be that little season of messiness where you're going to be very busy. When I first got started coaching, I had 2 jobs and honestly still trying to make ends meet. And it wasn't like and then 2 kids, husband, we were messy, but I was so laser focused on the life that I wanted to create for us that I wasn't operating in overwhelm. I was just leaning and running towards my goal. Like I just wanted more of it. So then I didn't mind the messiness. I actually embraced it. And I said, you know what, I put in the front end work. I laid the foundation of my business. And because I did that, 6 years later, I have a thriving business. And so you guys just know that you're going to be able to create more balance along the way. But getting started, it might just look a little bit messy. And you just have to work with your mentors and They'll help you lay out your calendar and make it fit into your life better. Take a look at what you can let go of. That's a really big thing. This is a very big one. Take off your superhero cape. I know that I used to show up like a hero, and I would put myself last and put everybody else first until I realized very quickly that this isn't going to help me operate in a place where I can serve more and help more. So I had to take a long, hard look at the things in my life and the people that I was putting first. And it's not saying we're being selfish, and I had to get over that, but I realized too that I was enabling a lot of people in my life because I was jumping in to save the day, and I wasn't empowering them. And that was a very big, like 1 degree shift that I made in my life that made all the difference. So I encourage you to take a look at that. And it's okay to say no, thank you. It's okay. You don't have to go to every single thing. You know, you can say no to specific things. You don't have to volunteer for every single event. So take a look at those areas. And I highly advise making a list of things that are time suckers, things that are really time wasters, things that are really taking so much of your time. And if you can let go of those things, it's going to free up more time for you to do more of what you love and truly growing this business to what you would like it to be. Instead of saying I can't, learn to say how can I? And this is so awesome to where you guys can jump in with your mentorship team on this. You're going to hear us saying this over and over and over again. Lean into your mentors. That's what they're there for. I promise you this, I would not be where I am without Brad. There were so many times, especially in my messy season, where I didn't know how to fit this into my life, and I'm crying and I'm overwhelmed. And one of the things he always told me is, you create your own experience. So looking at that and understanding that it's true, I don't need to choose to be overwhelmed. I can choose to say, you know what, show me, teach me, show me what you're doing, because I guarantee that your mentors have gone through exactly the same thing that you are going through at that moment, and that's why they're going through it, is to overcome it so they can help their future coaches. And so just lean into them, because they will be able to help you do that. And then schedule those rocks in your calendar. Like Susan was saying earlier, it is really, really important. You can treat this as a hobby, and that's fine, but you're going to expect a hobby paycheck. But if you treat this like a business and you're actually the CEO of your business, it is mind-blowing what you guys will be able to create with this business. It's an amazing opportunity that is in your hands. And we do these boot camps for the reason of sharing the wealth, sharing what works. So if you implement the steps, you're going to get an amazing, amazing result. And then, like I mentioned earlier, make a list of some of those time wasters in your life. I mean, you guys might want to throw some things up in the chat. What are some time wasters that are in your life? Because I bet you sometimes people don't think certain things are time wasters, but if somebody else throws it in there, they're going to say, oh my gosh, I never looked at it like that. It's all in perspective. So Brad, if you can go to the next slide, please. Okay, I love the definition of insanity. Keep doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different result. So take a step back, you guys, again, and just slow down for a second and take a look at, you know, we have these great visions and we have these great dreams, but sometimes we're not willing to make the changes in our life to go make those things happen. So slow down and take a look at saying, what can I change today? Like, what are some things that I can do? Because all of these action steps that we give you in all of these trainings, they're fantastic. But if we don't slow down to fit it into our life and take a look at the things that we can let go of, things that we need to add into our life, without doing that step, we're never going to take the action. We're never going to take that first step into moving forward. And, you know, honestly, we have so much noise and so much chatter going in our mind for the reasons why we can't do it and we can't fit it into our life. And I'm so busy, and my kids just threw up all over me, and my dog, like, it's this and this and this. And it just, honestly, it overtakes us. And I'm guilty of it myself. I'm not good enough. What value can I bring? It's all the things that would run through our mind. But if we just silence that, honestly, I highly recommend like getting up every morning and just silence and just gratitude and taking a look and just asking, you know, God or the universe or whatever that is for you to just bring people into your path, operate in that frequency of abundance and really feel empowered to really make a difference in this world. Because if we're operating in a frequency of overwhelm, we're going to only create overwhelming things in our life and we're not going to move forward. But if we're in an empowered state of mind and we're expecting great things to happen, things are going to happen for you. The next slide, Brad.
What?
Okay, so we're going to end it with this, but ask yourself.
That's not something that they do all the time.
Oops, we got someone. So ask yourself this question, you guys. Do you want to be a runner where you just run and you sprint to get those goals and you link arms with your mentorship team and you just keep asking, what's next? What's next? Because trust me, you are going to hit that goal so fast. Do you want to be a walker and just enjoy the journey and just take the one little step at a time at not such a great pace? Or do you want to be a squatter and you just sit there and you think about all the reasons why you can't do it and you just say you want to do it, but you're not taking that first step and making it happen? Honestly, this journey is amazing. And if you take a look at the obstacles that are stopping you from moving forward in your life, and you look at that as an opportunity instead of an obstacle, and you link arms with your mentor and you say, you know what, this is holding me up. And I want to get past this because I want to run to my goals. I want to make it happen. You can literally take one step at a time, you guys, and you can make it happen. And if you take that one step and you feel victorious, you're going to be able to take the next step and the next step and the next step. So don't think of the overwhelming picture. Think of it as just one step at a time and get that victory. And trust me, you guys, it is so worth it. So anyway, that's what I got for you, Brad.
I think that's really good. I wanted to just show one. I mean, let's just kind of pause here as we finish up it. Lori, that was so amazing. Thank you. Because I think you just married the whole combination here is that we're creating our best life. And I heard once that saying no to things is really being able to say yes. We have to say no to some things to say yes to what we truly want. We get to revolve our life around what matters most. So why are we spending so much time on this before we start 6 weeks? I mean, I know a lot of people are like, okay, how do I post on social media? How do I do a health assessment? How do I do these things? You know what? It's making the decision and getting clear on what you want and what really be the biggest part of it. So Lori, that was truly masterful. We threw up a schedule just so you guys can get an idea, and I want to empower you guys because we usually live this life and I want to wrap up here today as we just at 8 o'clock. We are told where we need to be. We react to our situations. We are stressed out by our circumstances. We let people that are unhealthy to us, dictate our lives. At this state, as we start 2019, you get to create what you want going forward. So those rocks that Susan covered, the inspiration that Lori gave us guidance on, you get to put your schedule together, and every growing business has those rocks. Like, it's not something where we're encouraging you, like literally, like I've gotten obsessed with because I want to be able to look anyone in the eye just like their health and be like, you can do this health journey. I want to look you guys in your eyes and be like, you can do this journey, fast or slow, whichever you want to do. All you have to do is follow the steps. So my encouragement is if you don't have this, and this is what we're going to give you time for in our, sort of have hands-on time, 15 minutes after every call to kind of get your hands dirty on this stuff. If you don't have your schedule set up, if you wrote down some of the things that Lori covered on there, let's create that schedule today because you're only as good as your systems and your structure. So thank you, Lori, for injecting so much heart and purpose and vision into something that could be looked at so as like, oh, and I have to do that. It's like, no, you get to be empowered to create your own life. So I absolutely love it. Thank you, Lori. The chat was blowing up. This is where we wrap up today, my friends. We're here to serve you and grow together. Drop me a 1 in the chat. Was today helpful for you guys? Do you guys feel empowered? Do you guys have a bigger vision than where you were when you came to this call? I love it. Lots of ones. Yes. Lots of capital yeses. So here's where we go here today, my friends, because success is built one win at a time. If you are already set up, and I know most of you are, so that's why we didn't really cover this, but we did a call at the start of the month that was like, okay, how to get organized. Danae knocked it out of the park. It was incredible. If you didn't watch that call and you've been a coach for a while, I would encourage watching it if you feel slightly disorganized. This is the time today to get that set up. So having a map, having coach explore sheets, having health assessments, having a 100 list, these are all the cornerstones of a growing business. If you don't have those today, it'd be a great thing to do to just take a couple minutes after this call and get set up for you. But the main thing that's going to be doing is action. If you weren't on the social media training last week, the recording will be posted in the document that we make. This is a great thing. We'll be diving more into it next week because next week we're going to dive into how do you make endless connections? How do you find people that are looking for your help? How do you authentically waken people up? Like how do people grow in this business? That's what we're going to cover next week, and how to awaken them and how to fill your funnel. That's what we're covering next week. So with that being said, here's this week's action steps. Text your support team. My phone's already blown up. You might have already done, but feel free to do the steps of success over and over and over again. Say I'm 100% in during the season. Make the decision to be consistent with us this season. I know there's going to be things that pop up, all the different things, but what I would encourage you is just like Lori was talking about, make these Saturdays a rock in your schedule. You will grow through this. And again, like we talked about, 90% of it's just make the decision. If you don't have your rock set up today, that's what we're going to spend the next few minutes doing. Get that set up today so you feel organized and empowered to take your next step. If you already have that done, then focus on finishing this month strong. If you are a senior coach, work really close with your support team. Really, people are like, do you really work close with your support team? Yes, really, work close with your support team. That's the game changer. So many people try to do things by themselves. No one accomplished anything great in life by going by themselves, and that's why what we do changes so many lives. If you're so close to executive director, make sure you make that plan on how to achieve that with your support team so you can have that step done by the end of this month. Then lastly, if you're all set up, and I know most of you guys are, just take those action steps. It's the daily commitment of being consistent in connections. 3, 3, and 3 is kind of what that looks like. And focus on your next 1 to 3 people that are ready to change their health. That's what we're doing today, guys. That's the action step. I want to thank everyone who contributed in the chat. It's just, the energy is infectious. Thank you, Lori. Truly incredible. Lisa, Steve, Ryan, thank you for sharing today. Susan, Shane, anything that we want to do as we wrap up today? I think this is a great place to start. And I have a bigger vision than when I came to this call today. So hopefully everyone here does too.
No, let's wrap it up and move into actually building what you all want to create, because I know everyone showed up this morning because there's a dream in your heart, and I think an encouragement to you is like, really, at the end of the day, no one's going to probably care more about your dream than you. And so you have to start showing up for you and make the decision that it's important enough that you're going to make time for it, that you're going to lean into this whole process, like Kelly kind of brought up in the beginning, and, just get better. Make that decision to grow by points every single month. And you know what? I'm excited for you to see where this group goes, because Brad showed the growth of what it's going to look like in March. And April, May, next year, 9 years later, whatever that looks like, we're honored to be here. And thanks for a great morning.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. I know a lot of you guys have health assessments, coach explorers, meet and greets. If you got to pop off, that is the end of the call. Go get it this Saturday. Again, thanks for getting up early, getting after it. It's infectious to be around people that are on fire and want to make the change in their life. If you want to be part of the work time, this is where we transition. So the call is done. I'm going to actually stop the recording right now. Let me click on that so I don't forget.